Hello, friends. It's me, Miss Erin, back to read you another story. Today is The Princess and the Warrior by Duncan Tontiuh. He is a well known author and illustrator, and he's won several awards. Now, this is his story about The Princess and the Warrior, a tale of two volcanoes. So I chose this book for today because it is Native American Heritage Month now that we are in November. And as you know, Native Americans are not just native to the United States, but they are native to Canada and Mexico. The most famous natives in Mexico are perhaps the Aztec. Now, the Aztec were a very powerful, very educated, very cultured people that lived in Mexico for thousands of years. And they had many legends that stay with us today. And this is one of them, The Princess and the Warrior. Once upon a time, there lived a kind princess. Her name was Ista. Even though she was the daughter of an emperor, she loved to spend time with the people who grew corn in the milpas. She liked to teach them poetry or flor y canto. Suitors traveled from distant lands to woo her. They presented her with rare and lavish gifts, such as gestaff feathers and turquoise necklaces. They would all say the same thing. You are the most beautiful maiden in the land. Marry me, princess, and you will live in a luxurious palace. You won't have to spend time in fields ever again. No, thank you, Itza would reply. She was not interested in any of the suitors or their gifts. One day, a warrior named Popoka came to see her. Princess, I know you have a kind and beautiful heart, for I've seen you teaching flor y canto to the villagers in milpas. I don't have expensive gifts to offer, but if you marry me, I promise I will love you for who you are. I will stay by your side no matter what, as long as the Tontiuh rises, as long as the sentinel birds sing. Popoka's words were music to Itza's ears. She could hear honesty in his voice, and she fell in love with him. The emperor did not want his daughter to marry a mere soldier. He wanted her to marry a wealthy and powerful Talutin, a ruler. But he knew that Popoka was the best and bravest warrior in the kingdom. The emperor and his people had been at war with the Jaguar clan, the Tontiuh of that neighboring land, for years, and there had been no end in sight. So he called Popoka to him. Popoka, the emperor said, if you defeat the Jaguar clan once and for all, I will let you marry my daughter, Ista. Popoka and Ista were overjoyed. Popoka gathered his most courageous men and marched off to war. Here they are battling. Popoka fought numerous battles. He and his men were injured and almost defeated many times. But when the end seemed near, Popoka would always think of Ista waiting for his return. He would defend himself with his chimali and attack with his makutil and inspire his men to fight with even more courage than before. Pretty exciting. Slowly the tide turned. Popoka and his men began winning battles. It was clear that they would soon defeat the Jaguar clan. Realizing this, Jaguar Claw devised a plan to steal from Popoka what the warrior cherished most. Can you guess what that is? He bribed one of Popoka's personal messenger. Tell Ista that Popoka has been killed. Offer her this potion to soothe her grief. "Everything is lost, princess," the messenger said sadly when he arrived at the palace. "Popoka and his men fought bravely, but they were defeated and killed." "No, that cannot be," cried Ista. She locked herself in her chamber and wept and refused to eat or speak with anyone. That night, the messenger came to her room. "I know your heart is shattered, as if it was made of obsidian glass," he said. "But take this drink, princess. It will help ease your grief." Ista took the potion, drank it all, and lying down on her bed, she fell into a deep sleep. The next day, before night fell, and the first star appeared in the sky, Popoka defeated Jaguar Claw. Unaware of the lies the messenger had told, the great warrior and his troops marched back to the palace in triumph, ready to share the good news with the princess and the emperor. But when they arrived, they were met with disbelief. "Popoka," said the emperor, "one of the messengers told us that you were dead." Ista was heartbroken. She took a special potion to ease her pain, and now we cannot wake her. There she is. "This can't be true," said Popoka. "Ista, my beautiful princess, has to awaken." He ran to her chamber. He kissed her and held her in his arms. He called out her name over and over. But Ista did not wake up. "Cool air will surely revive her," Popoka told the emperor, and carried Ista through the throngs of villagers who wept as they passed the meal pass, and all through the night to the top of a tepetel. He laid her on a bed. He knelt down beside her. The cool mountain air soon turned to snow, but still the princess did not wake up. Popoka refused to move. He stayed next to Ista, just as he had promised when he first met her. As long as Tontiuh rises, as long as the sentinel bird sings, he stayed. And stayed. And in time, where there was once a princess and her true love by her side, two volcanoes emerged. One known as Tontiuh, or Sleeping Woman, the other known as Popocatépetl, or Smoky Mountain. Ista continues to sleep, but Popoka spews ashes and smoke from time to time, as if attempting to wake his sleeping princess. And that's the end. So, those two volcanoes are located about 40 miles out of Mexico City, and that legend has been around for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. So, I really hope you enjoyed that story. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.